There are a lot of growing pains that are associated with growing in the moral life. Detaching yourself from sin and then pursuing virtue isn't always the easiest thing. So it's very beneficial to look at our relationship with God as a true father and child relationship, because it helps us make comparisons to our own family relationships so that then we can understand our relationship with God better. And St. Paul in the second reading gives us a good analogy when he's describing this father and son relationship. When we think about the relationship of a parent and a child, there's always going to be at least a couple of rocky times growing up. And times when parents have to lay down the law with their children over the course of their lives. And these guidelines are going to change as the children grow, and because different things are going to be expected of kids. The rules that the parents set out are disciplines, and they aren't meant to be mean to their kids. It's not because they don't like their kids. It's actually precisely because they love them that they do want what's best for them. And sometimes that means they have to follow some rules, they have to subject themselves to some discipline. Like, if a parent makes a kid do chores or eat vegetables or do their homework, the kid's going to get upset, of course, but the parent knows that it's ultimately going to benefit them in the end. They know it's for their good. And so this is the analogy that St. Paul's making in our relationship with God. We, all of us, are his beloved children. And he gives us his law to follow because he knows that that is what will inevitably lead to our benefit. Not just in our pursuit of heaven, but here and now while we live on the earth. Have you ever noticed people who don't believe in God or live incredibly immoral lives are always trying to convince you how happy they are? They go about their lives and put on a smile on their face and try to deceive others as much as they have deceived themselves, that they're feeling fulfilled and free. And yet the people that are truly happy, truly free, and truly fulfilled never have to try to convince you that they are. They just are. They have their identity firmly rooted in the fact that they are a beloved son or daughter of God. They don't need anybody else's approval. They just need their Father's approval. And they know that their following of God's law is precisely what makes them free. And this relationship with God is something that we're cultivating. Our gospel spells it out clearly that it is difficult to attain salvation. The way to work towards your salvation, though, is developing a relationship with and knowing God himself. Because you will always become more like the people that you surround yourself with. And becoming more like Christ is how we will strive to enter through that narrow gate. And if we develop that relationship with God, it means that we know him. And more importantly also, he knows us. And so we will never be like that guy in the gospel who is knocking at the master's door, begging him to let him in, and the reply from the master becoming, "I do not know you." Because we will have put the work in then, while we're alive here on earth, to build that relationship while we're still alive. And the master will then hear our voice knocking at the door, and he'll run to the door and open it and let us in and welcome us as true friends. And so as we approach this sacred altar today and prepare to receive our Lord into our souls, we want to reflect on our relationship with the Lord. Are we welcoming him into our souls today as true friends? Or do we still have some work to do? Do we still have a little bit more to get to know about each other, revealing ourselves to Christ and asking him to reveal himself to us? And when we do come to know him better, our prayer will then be asking him, "Lord, help me to be more like you."